believe it. I thought it was higher, but 9% of people make the grade and follow through the entire year. Also, the cool thing to know about New Year's resolutions is, like we said earlier, most people do not complete it. So technically, they'll be labeled a quitter. They have a day for that. It's the second Friday of January. And this year falls on January 9th. So if you made it to that point or you go past it this time around, congratulations. But chances are by that point you would have had failed, unfortunately. But the great thing about New Year's resolutions is you don't have to wait for January to make a date to do something important or impactful in your life, right? So if you want to lose weight, be healthier, improve your finances, go to the gym and work out more, or quit smoking, you don't have to wait for New Year's to make a resolution to do something, right? Because the odds are against you anyway. Let's be plain and simple about that. Also, when it comes to setting goals and changing habits or creating new habits, chances are you fail for a specific reason, and it's not your fault. You're not broken, nothing needs to be fixed, but the odds are against you. As we go further along, I'm going to show that to you. I'm just going to give you a sneak peek right now, though, to see, so you guys have a visual of why you can't follow through. And we're going to talk a little bit about that a little bit as we go on. So I know I'm not the only one who set out a big goal, something that they wanted to do, a new habit that they wanted to create, or maybe a bad habit they wanted to break. And we kept getting stuck or falling short. Anybody else experience that? Anybody else? Or is it's not just me? All right, cool, perfect. So let's say, for example, you have a deadline of a product you want to finish or put out there in the world, or a paper that you want to write, or some big important task, right? And let's say you have 4 weeks to do it. So like most people, you would structure it in a way where you can finish it up in those 4 weeks periods. But things don't always work out that way, do it, right? So life gets in the way sometimes, and more often than not, when you set that 4 week plan and you all excited about it, before you know it, you don't miss the week, a whole week just planning. So you're already out 25% of your time to finish up that goal, that project, that task, whatever it may be, right? So now we're looking at 3 weeks. So we're moving along, we got a good plan in place, 3 weeks to finish it up. But let's say somebody gets sick, or life gets busy, work is busy around the house, whatever the case may be, life happens as it usually does. Or your favorite show on Netflix comes out with a new season, and you just gotta binge watch that, right? You gotta get through all the episodes in that week. So now we're down to 2 weeks out of the 4. So we left with 2 weeks to finish up a 4 week task. Definitely not ideal. I've been there before. I know I'm not the only one. Type in the chat if you've been there. Just give me a yes if you've done that before, because I've definitely done that. So we got 2 weeks left to finish up this 4 week task. So what we do is we just compress it a little bit more from 4 to 2 weeks, and we map out how we're gonna get it done. But before we do that, of course, we gotta stress out about the 2 weeks that we just burned and the time that we wasted. So now let's say we down to 1 week to finish this goal, and everything's happening. Everything's pulling you away from completing that task. So we do, I know I do, or I've done, I wait till the weekend before and I drink way too much coffee and don't sleep at all. And I cram that whole task into a 2-day period, right? And you make it across the finish line. And of course, it's not optimal. It's definitely not healthy because you're sacrificing your health. You didn't get any sleep and you drank way too much caffeine, but you got it across the finish line. And your brain chalks that up as a win. So the brain thinking like, yes, we got it done. While you knowing that that's not healthy, not optimal, not the best way to do things, right? But what happens in your brain is once you stack up enough of these so-called wins in your mind, your brain thinks that's how it's supposed to be. So going forward, when you have a task, a project, a school paper to write, whatever the case may be, you're gonna wait to the last minute and get these things done. And what you're doing is you're training your mind to operate that way. And you go on a loop and you do these things over and over and over. Hence, why New Year's resolutions often do not work. So I urge you, if you have a goal out there that you want to complete, whether it be New Year's related or just general self-improvement, right? If you want to be healthier, you don't want to smoke anymore, you want to eat better, make better financial choices, whatever the case may be, reach out. I'm happy to help you and work with you in this process. And as we move forward, as this whole thing unfolds, we're going to actually be doing a live experience. So you can set that intention, which we'll talk about, and it's a really neat way that we're going to lay that out for you. But you can set your attention and we can start working on that thing today. And you can just follow up with me later on for future sessions so we can go a little bit deeper, right? So just want to throw that out there to you. So getting back to the mind and how it works actually, and how we retrain our mind. And our mind is basically going to predict future outcomes off of past events. So your mind, you're giving it evidence of how you've shown up, how you've completed tasks, how you follow through it or not, and then your mind is going to use that as evidence for future events based off your past experiences, and that's why we fall short. So you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just simply that we need to retrain or rewire our mind, right? And that's going to bring me to how the mind works. So we're just going to call this a mind map. Call this a mind map. And it's going to be a lot going on here, but just stay with me. And remember that this part right here of your mind, this visual, is going to be really critical, but we're going to come back to that. So this is your mind. And there's a few things, a few working pieces happening in your mind. This first piece right here, the bulk of it, is your subconscious mind. And that's important to know because your subconscious mind handles the bulk of things that you don't have to worry about, like our whole nervous system, respiratory system. The subconscious mind is handling all of that, so you don't even have to worry about it. It's running automatic without you having to do anything to breathe or to walk. It happens automatic, right? And the bulk of the actions that you want to change, the transformation that you want to see, is going to need to happen right here in the subconscious mind, right? And that's 88% of your mind's total power. Next part of your mind is, you might have guessed it, the conscious mind. And that accounts for about 12% of your total mind power. And the conscious mind is interesting because it handles things like analyzing, logic, reason, motivation, and I'm a big hater when it comes to willpower. Just put that out there. So willpower is all happening right here. And if you want to make transformation, this is not the place to be focusing on right here, right? Because as we all know, willpower is that thing that fails you when you need it the most. So if you want to make change, you want to have real breakthrough and transformation, you don't need to be operating right here. What you need to be operating at, or where you need to be operating right here, in the subconscious mind, because that's where all habit and identity is going to be stored. And other things that we talked about, like things you don't have to worry about, is taking place in the subconscious mind. So if you can get all those New Year's resolutions and other goals, stop trying to get them to go here and get them to go here. This is where the magic happens. This is where real success and transformation happens, because the subconscious mind does so much and it does it so powerfully. So how it works, from about the years 0 to 8, we are developing this subconscious mind right here. So you may have noticed or may have heard that children, when they get to about 8, up until that age, they learn things very, very easily. Like you can teach them languages, you can introduce them to an instrument, and they can pick it up really, really fast because they are very susceptible to everything that's happening. That's why they are they accept things like the Easter Bunny or Christmas and things like that. I gotta whisper that because I got kids running around. I don't want to ruffle no feathers. But they are really susceptible right here. When they get to about this age, that's when things start to change. And if you have kids, raise your hands if you got kids in the chat. Anybody? All right, so you know when they get about 8, 9, 10, that's when the fun begins. That's when they ask all the questions. They got questions about questions. They question everything that's happening around them, and because that's how they are learning. They even question what you're doing. Everything that happens around this age is because that critical mind is developing, and that's what this is. We're just gonna put CM right here. This is the critical mind, and we're gonna come back to the critical mind. But I want to show you how impactful the subconscious mind is, because from years about 0 to 8, we are storing everything in here, taking all this information in, and they become knowns. These pluses are going to be knowns. We also have unknowns, right? And that's important because we're going to look at this as an unknown right here. We'll come back to that as well. But you have knowns and unknowns, and if they make it in the subconscious mind, they're going to be deemed safe. Very important to know. Why is that important to know, you might ask, right? That's a good question. Because if from the years 0 to 8, almost anything that you're putting in the child's mind is going to be deemed safe. They're going to receive it easier because this guy isn't developed quite yet. But when it does develop, they start kicking things back, or the critical mind starts kicking things back because they see it as unsafe. We don't see it in here. We don't know it. We haven't experienced it. So it's going to be deemed unsafe. That's why your New Year's resolutions fail. That's why that 30-day habit plan fails. That's why that gym routine fails. Because if you haven't been doing it, the critical mind says, we haven't done that before. It's unsafe. And this whole job is to keep you safe. So the critical mind, I always give this analogy. I see it as the bouncer outside the club or bar, right? Because, for example, and I'm going way, way back because the idea of going to a club or a bar now just doesn't bother me. I'm 40 years old, and staying up past 10 o'clock is more like a punishment than it is like a reward. So just bear with me. I'm going to take y'all back a little bit. So back in the day, if you wanted to go to a club, a bar, or something like that, you had to be in the proper attire. So no baggy jeans, no t-shirts, things like that. You had to come casual. And that bouncer was doing his job on keeping you out because it might have seen you as a threat and made you out to be unsafe. But if you had on the right attire, casual dress, then you can come on in. And that's the same thing that your critical mind is doing. If it sees it as unsafe or a threat, it's not going to allow entry. It's going to be very, very challenging. Hence why only 9% of people actually finish their New Year's resolutions. That's why they even have a day for it called Quitter's Day, because it's unsafe. These new things that we want to do, this new person that we want to become, is seen as unsafe because we haven't done it before. So in order for us to get these New Year's resolutions, whether it be, let's say, healthy lifestyle, and I want you guys to figure out what your thing is going to be that you're going to focus on, setting your intention for later on. Very cool experience we're going to do. Let's just say healthy lifestyle. What else? Would be, let's say, money is one of those things. A lot of people want to become non-smokers, and that's just 3 of them. Just 3 things. If you want those 3 things inside here, we have to first make sure we get the critical mind out of the way. So these resolutions and these new habits that we want to form can be seen as safe, and they stick and they hold. When we get them inside that subconscious mind, real breakthrough and real transformation can happen. Right, so you guys probably have a lot of questions, and I like to answer the questions in a demonstration style. so you guys have that clarity and you can feel it and experience it. Because we covered a lot. We covered how the mind works, how powerful these two are, and of course, when you put them together, you can have 100% success. But how do we get to that point, right? And we get there through hypnosis or hypnotherapy. So hypnosis is the root word for it is, when you translate it to Greek, is sleep. And what we do is in hypnosis, we get your mind to a place where it's relaxed, not completely sleep, although we may use the word sleep or deep sleep. And all that means is you get into a place where you're extremely relaxed and you can easily and effortlessly take in suggestions, just like children before they get to this age of they ask you questions on questions, right? We want to get you to that state where you can easily accept suggestions. And we do that with hypnosis. And hypnotherapy is the fastest way to make meaningful transformation in your life. And I'm living proof of it. I practice what I preach. I do self-hypnosis every day. And for me to be here speaking to you guys, I actually consulted with other hypnotherapists to work on my fear of public speaking, fear of showing up and being present on social media. And since I've been working on that, not just with another hypnotherapist, but doing the work myself, I've been going live every single day, and it doesn't feel like a pain to me. Easy. And that's all because of the work that I was able to do by getting to this level of hypnosis and putting in all these things that my mind now sees as safe. All right? So we did a lot of whiteboard action. Now it's time to do some live transformation right here, right now. So before we do that, I want you to set your intention. I said we're going to come back to that. I want you to set your intention. What is it that you would like to get out of this session? It doesn't have to be necessarily New Year's resolution, although we talked about the top 5. Be healthier, better financial choices, better food choices, stop smoking, reduce stress. All of those things are very, very valid and actually rank in the top 5 every single year. So maybe that's something that you align with. But I want you to right now set your attention, and in your mind, I want you to attach that attention to a USB stick. In your mind, attach your attention, whatever it is you want to get out of today's session, to a USB stick. And that's going to be very important, and I'll show you a little bit about that later. All right, so before we get started, full disclaimer, if you are driving or operating machinery, now is not the time to be doing this session. Come back later. I'll make sure the video is available for you, but for your own safety, it is not welcome for you to be doing any driving or operating any machinery, because hypnotic techniques will be used. All right, so before we get started, I want you to go ahead and get to a place. If you're sitting down, put your feet flat on the floor. If you're laying down, go ahead and lay back and get comfortable. I need you to get your feet flat on the floor. I need you to shake your hands out. Shake your hands out, and you're shaking out all anxiety, all that tension, all that doubt, worry, and fear. Just shake it all out. Good, great job. You're doing a great job. Couldn't do any better. Next thing I want to teach you is a very important tool, not just for today, but in the future. And it's called the 336 breathing technique. I use it a lot with my people who's looking to quit smokers. Like I said, if you want help with that, you've been trying to get away, but you've been stuck, we explain why you've been stuck, reach out. I'm happy to assist any way I can. I'm really passionate about helping people kick that habit. All right, so it's called the 336 breathing technique. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale and take 3. You're going to inhale through your nose for a count of 3. Then you're going to hold for 3. Then you're going to exhale for a 6 count. And we're going to do 3 reps. Look, I'm already speaking gym speak. I need to get back in the gym. So we're going to do a 336 breathing technique for 3 repetitions, and I'll guide you through it. All right, so inhale, 1, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Good job. Great job. Couldn't do any better. Couldn't do any better. Now what I need you to do is I need you to go ahead and lace your fingers for me with your index fingers pointed up. So everything is going to be laced with the exception of your index fingers. And what I want you to do is I want you to try to keep these index fingers apart from each other. And also what you're going to do is you're going to elevate your arms comfortably to a point where you have to look up slightly, just above your natural line of sight. And I want you to keep your focus on that little space in between your index fingers. Great job. Great job. Just go ahead and do that. Keep focusing there. Take one big deep breath and exhale. Good. Now I want you to squeeze down on your pinkies, ring finger, middle finger, and thumbs. And keep staring at that space in between your index fingers. Good job. You're doing a great job. Couldn't do any better. Now I want you to visualize, pretend, imagine, or picture that at the ends of your index fingers, you have tiny magnets trying to pull those fingers together. And that's the power of your subconscious mind at work. So I want you to try to keep them apart. And remember, the more that you try to keep them apart, the more that they want to come together. And when they do come together, because they will, you're going to go ahead and put your hands down on your laps, let them rest comfortably, and allow your eyes to close. Good, you're doing a great job. You couldn't do any better. Good job. Feet firmly and flat on the floor. Nice and relaxed, taking big, deep breaths. Now I want you to visualize, imagine, pretend, or picture, with your eyes closed and body relaxed and calm, a calming cloud that is your favorite color hovering just above your head as if it was a halo hovering over an angel's head. And that calming cloud, which is your favorite color, has just one job. Its job is to relax you or calm you as deeply as it can. And it's going to move throughout your body from your head all the way down to your tips of your toes, relaxing you and or calming you as much as you can be calm and relaxed. So now it's moving from your head down to your chin, shoulders, chest, belly, deep breath, shoulder, elbows, hands, all calm, all calm. Now it's moving down to your hips, completely relaxed, thighs, knees, shins, ankles, heels, whole body heels, entire body heels, toes completely relaxed, and lower body completely relaxed. And that calming cloud is not finished yet because it's going to bring you twice as deep now throughout your entire body, starting from your toes back up to your head. So now your toes are completely calm, and that calming cloud is moving to your ankles, heel, whole body heels, shin, knees, thighs, hips, belly, deep breath. Belly is completely relaxed. Now chest, fingers, wrist, elbows, shoulders, head deeply relaxed. Whole upper body is completely relaxed. Now your entire body is completely calm or relaxed. And we're going to go deeper. Moving forward, when you hear me say the word sleep or deep sleep, you will go to a hypnotic sleep deeper than where you are now, with your permission and for the purpose of hypnosis. You will go there quickly, quietly, and deeply whenever you hear me say sleep or deep sleep. Now, I want you to notice your breathing and how deep it is. Also, now, notice how relaxed and slumped your shoulders are. Notice the fluttering of your eyes as they are closed. Just notice how nice, calm, and relaxed you are. Now I want you to visualize, pretend, picture, or imagine that you are at the top of a beautiful set of stairs. And as you stare down to the bottom, you notice that there are 20 steps. And when you get to the bottom landing, I will be saying the words deep sleep. And of course, with your permission, for the purpose of hypnosis, you will go deeper and more relaxed when you hear me say the words deep sleep. But I want you to notice this staircase, the color of it, the texture of it, how steep the stairs may or may not be. I want you to notice the colors, the walls, before we begin to step off. Now I want you to go ahead and hold on to that rail with your left hand as we prepare to step off. And just give me a head nod when you've done that. Go ahead and nod your head yes when you have your left hand on that handrail, that sturdy, safe, well built out handrail. Great job. Great job. As we prepare to step off, you're going to be doing so. The first step is going to be with your left foot. So when I say ready step, you're going to be stepping down from step 20 to 19, bringing you deeper and more relaxed with every breath you take. Every breath you take is going to bring you more and more relaxed, more and more calm. All sounds will bring you more deep, more relaxed, or more calm, but you'll choose. Every sound that you hear, including the sound of my voice, will bring you more and more relaxed and more calm. Here we go. Ready, step 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, halfway there, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Deep sleep. Deep sleep. Every time I say the words deep sleep, with your permission, you will go to hypnotic state, deeper than where you are now, quietly, quickly, and of course deeply. Every time I say the words deep sleep. Great job. Now I want you to notice, not too far in front of you, looks like an opening to a beautiful forest. And I want you to walk towards that forest because that forest is your special forest. And every step that you take inside that forest brings you deeper, more calm, or more relaxed. You'll decide. But every step in that forest brings you more and more peace and tranquility. So let's go ahead and walk through that forest. I want you to notice what you notice. From the earth underneath your feet, the clothes you may have on, the plants, the trees, any friendly wildlife that you may notice. Let's go ahead and take a moment and notice what you notice inside of your own special forest. All of the sights, all of the smells. Just take a moment to take all of that in. As we continue to walk, with every step we take, bring us more and more calm, more and more peace, more and more tranquility. As we continue to walk, we notice that we have a backpack on our back. And that backpack, we notice, is quite heavy. What's in that backpack may be bricks, kettlebells, or dumbbells, but you'll decide. And what each of those represent, you'll decide as well. It could be anxiety, doubt, fear, whatever it is that's weighing you down is in that backpack. And as we notice, we continue to walk with this heavy backpack on. We come about to the edge of a beautiful, calm lake. We notice how calm it is. We notice how far down to the bottom we can see. We also realize that it may be time to lighten our load. So I want you to go ahead and reach inside that backpack. Take that first item out. I want you to go ahead and toss it into that lake. Notice the sound that it makes. Could be a splash, could be a gulp. I'm not sure, but you'll decide. Go ahead and watch the ripples. And that item that was previously weighing you down drift to the bottom. We notice that the bag is still quite a bit heavy. So we go ahead and pull another item out and toss it into the lake. Notice what you notice. The sounds, the sights, the ripples maybe. Maybe that item going beneath that lake till it's now out of sight and gone because it no longer serves you and can no longer hurt you moving forward. We notice we have one more item that's kind of weighing us down. So we go ahead and pull that item out, and as hard as we can, we toss it into the lake. Notice the sound. Notice it drifting deeper and deeper into that lake till it's no longer out of sight because it no longer serves you and it can no longer hurt you. And while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and toss the entire backpack into the lake. So take it off and toss it into the lake. Great job. You let it go. You're doing it right. You're always doing it right. Now in the ripples, I want you to get a look at yourself, this new version of you, who's just unloaded so much that was previously weighing you down. Take a look at how you look. Are you poised? How are you breathing? Are your shoulders back and square? Is your chin up and head high? I'm not sure, but you'll decide. And this is the new you moving forward without that burden, without those things holding you down, because they are deep at the bottom of the lake and they can no longer hurt you or no longer hold you back. Now I want you to notice in the reflection of that lake, you may notice that a little bit upstream, you see a reflection of a cabin. And that cabin is something that is very interesting because we didn't notice it before, so we're curious. So go ahead and begin walking to that cabin and just notice the sturdy roof, notice the windows, notice the door. Go ahead and grab the knob of that cabin. And give me a head nod when you've done so. Good, good. Now go ahead and make entry into that cabin. Go ahead and open up the door and go inside and shut the door behind you. I want you to take in this entire room because this is your room. This is your actual computer room. This computer room has your name all over it. So I want you to just notice what the walls look like in this room. Notice what's on the floor. What is the floor surface? Is it covered, uncovered? Have any plants in this room? This is your special computer room. And in it, I want you to notice a big, beautiful workstation. Nice table set up, laptop, a mouse, and a beautiful, comfortable chair. Now I want you to head over to that chair and have a seat. That chair is your favorite color, your favorite texture, and it is oh so comfortable to sit in and relax. Now I want you to slide in to your workstation and open up that laptop. It could be a PC, it could be a Mac, but it's to your liking. I want you to go ahead and open up the screen, put your hand on the mouse. I want you to notice there are a few files in red on top of a blank white screen, just a few files there in red. And those files are also things that no longer serve you. Now, it could be something different that we haven't discussed yet, but these files no longer serve you. So go ahead and label those files or things that you want to get rid of to help you move forward and become the best version of yourself. I'll give you a moment to label each file and fill those things with things that no longer serve you. Fill those files up with things that you want to let go of, remove, or delete. I'll give you a minute to do that. Great job. Now I want you to take your mouse and I want you to grab those files, those folders. I want you to drag them to that trash can in the lower left corner of your screen. Drag all the files there and go ahead and delete those files. Give me a head nod when you've completed that. Great job. Great job. So now what we have here is we have a blank slate, a true blank slate. But remember, we set our intention earlier, and we set our intention to that USB drive. So I want you to go ahead and pop that USB drive into your laptop. And now, this is where we create this new version of you, becoming our best version, and whatever that thing may be, because we were at a completely blank slate, but now we put our intention in on that USB stick. So now all the things that we want to create in our life, we can see it happening in real time on this screen in our computer room. So just spell that out, what that looks like to you. How are you showing up in the world? How are you responding? What's your temperament like? How do you view the world, whether it be work life, personal life? How do you view the world? How do you want to view the world? And also important, how are people viewing you? Could be family members. How are they viewing you? How would you like to be viewed by people? And what do we have to put in place right now to get that favorable outlook from family members, co-workers? How are we being viewed? What feelings are coming up as we look at this new version of ourselves that we're walking into 2026 with? What type of feelings are we feeling? Maybe gratitude, or pride, I'm not sure, but you'll decide what those feelings are. And I want you to elevate those positive emotions right now, whatever it may be. Elevate them, bring them higher, higher and higher. We had to say a number, I want you to elevate them as high as you feel comfortable, whether it be a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. It's totally up to you. But elevate those positive emotions right now. Great job. You're doing it right. You're always doing it right. Now I want you to see yourself favorably in the near future. Could be next month, 6 months from now, could be a year from now. I want you to take in those emotions based on all the work that we're doing right here, right now, and activate all the senses in that scenario. What do you see in this scenario of this new best version of yourself? What are you feeling? Who's around you? What are they feeling? What are their expressions? Give you a moment to take that in. Doing it right. You're always doing it right. Now I want you to future pace with me a little bit. I want you to imagine that you are walking through your life. To be a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. But I want you to get a feel, get an idea, get a sensation of what life will look like for you if we move through every day as this best version of ourselves. What would that look like for you? What are some of the great things that are happening for you? How is that positively affecting the people that you care about? Family members, co-workers? How's everyone being affected positively as you keep showing up as this version that you are becoming right now? I'll give you a moment. Great job. Great job. Now I want you to build out a tool. And this tool is going to be called an anchor. And this anchor, we're going to build an AOK sign. So I want you to take your right hand and make an AOK sound and let it rest comfortably on your lap. What I want you to do now is I want you to bring back all those positive emotions, all those emotions that we elevated, and bring it to right here, right now with this anchor. Whether it be calm, whether it be confidence or clarity, whatever that thing is, I want you to feel that, experience that, visualize that right now while holding that anchor, align with the intention that we set and saying that word that we want to achieve while we're holding this anchor. So say that word to you, holding your positive intention right now. And again, set that intention one more time while you're holding out your anchor. Say what that thing is. You know what it is. You put that USB stick inside of your laptop. You know what your intention is. So go ahead and set it and lock in this anchor. Do that now. And one more time, lock in that anchor with that positive intention. And you'll remember to use this anchor to bring you back to this feeling. Whenever you need it, you will remember to use it, and you will use it when you remember to. Great job. You're doing it right. You're always doing it right. All right, go ahead and allow that hand to rest now. Because now you will be thinking about all the things further that we want to release. And these things will be released in your subconscious during your venting sleep hours. In the early morning hours of your sleep, your subconscious mind will begin to clean, remove, or delete things that no longer serve you to help you get on the fast track of becoming that best version of yourself. It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow night, it will be sometime this week. You will have minting dreams, and your subconscious mind will begin to clean the things that no longer serve you. All right, now before we come back, I'm going to count you back up from 0 to 5. And when you arrive at 5, don't be surprised. You have a big, wide smile on your face, eyes are open, and you are completely aware. But notice when I say 0, that may be an opportunity for you to go a little bit deeper. Here we go. 0. 1, becoming a comeback slowly. 2, becoming more aware of the things around us in this room. 3, energy rising. 4, eyes beginning to open and flutter. 5, eyes open wide, wide awake with a big smile on your face. Great job. Great job. You did a great job. You're doing it right. You've always done it right. Great job. How's everyone feeling? Great job. Great job. So if you enjoyed today's demonstration, please feel free to reach out to me. If you want a personal, private, one-on-one session, feel free to reach out to me. You just visit our website, dreamwithadeadline.com/strategy session. So we can have a talk before we figure out exactly what you need help on and take the best steps to get you where you want to be. Or if you really enjoyed this group presentation today, and if you want to have me do this for your group or workplace, feel free to reach out. You can easily find me on any and all social medias as Derek Wiley Anderson, or just shoot me a quick email, derek@dreamwithadeadline.com. It's been my honor and my pleasure to serve you and to guide you. Reach out if you have any questions. I'm always happy to help. I'll see you in the next one.